Hi everybody and welcome back to Route 7 Railway. It's been a long 12 months, hasn't it, with this pandemic? I think without this hobby, I think quite a few of us would be struggling, me included, to keep ourselves occupied and not go stir crazy, stuck in various lockdowns around the country. And I'm happy to say, and we are fortunate, I've had my first vaccine just short of 3 weeks ago, and I've got my next dose on the 13th of May, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the lockdown will start easing over the next few months. Now this video is about ballasting, which I've never done before. And what I did, I've done quite a lot of research on YouTube as to try and look at different ways of going about it. And one of the things that jumped out at me is that the PVA 50-50 mix idea, squirting it onto the ballast, came out as a bit messy for me. It might work for other people, but I wasn't happy with that. I had to weigh things up with about cost versus practicality. I know PVA is cheap, and that's one of the reasons why people do it. But I decided to have a go at using this stuff, Ballast Magic. So I've bought some of this because with this you don't have to pour PVA onto diluted PVA onto it. You just have to mix this powder, very fine powder like a talcum, in with your ballast, and then when it's all brushed into place, you just spray it with a fine mist of water. I tried it as an experiment and it really worked. So I've done this video to show you my method of doing it. Now, there's no right or wrong way for ballast, as everybody tells you. But what I did, in order to try and not to use this up too much, because I think this was about £12 something, and that's expensive for working on ballast. So in order to save money with the Ballast Magic, I decided to try a two-phase method of me ballasting, where I used neat PVA to put a base coat down of the ballast, which would then reduce the amount of ballast that I used, needing to mix it with Ballast Magic, and it worked out. It's done well. So I hope you'll be interested to see how that turns out. I also save money with my method of doing a light weathering on the track, and I use this poster paint, cheap as chips. It's from Hobbycraft. I did worry about it being easily rubbed off the track, but it hasn't at all, and it's turned out really well. So I'm very pleased with that, and you'll see that in the video. So please subscribe and like the video, because it's still very encouraging to us small-time YouTubers that people are even bothering to watch. So if you watch it, subscribe for me, and it's free, remember. I'll speak to you at the end of the video and we'll discuss how it turned out. So enjoy. Bye bye. Hi everybody, and here we are in the train room. I've got a fire going, as it were, and a little train to keep me company while I'm pottering here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the work. My trial yesterday with the ballasting has worked out excellent. The only bit being the white bits left here, which I'm either going to touch it with grey paint or some foliage. I've weathered the track using this poster paint. I did worry about that it would get washed off with the spray for the Ballast Magic, but it hasn't at all, and it's only a subtle weathering. It's nothing major. It's browned off the sleepers and just took the shine off the track just a little bit, and that's what I wanted. My method for doing the ballasting, no doubt somebody's already done this before, but this is the way I found it easiest for me. I wanted to avoid lots and lots of liquid being all over the place. I just found it in my head, I just thought that was going to be too messy. So what I will do first, this is my practice, and I proved to myself that it would work and I wouldn't embarrass myself on video. So what I've done is, from this section here, you can see it's a slightly different colour because it hasn't been fully treated. All this is a coat of thick PVA, neat, painted onto the area to be done, and then just dry ballast blasted all over the top of it and let it stick, and to brush the excess off. And what I do then is I do the ballast, I mix the Ballast Magic in with my ballast, and I do, if you like, the top coat, and then spray it, and that has worked out really good. It's all, there's a few little bits that have got to be taken off, but that's all nice and solid, and I'm really pleased with it. These places here where I've filled in holes and gaps, they're quite deep, so to use the ballast with the Ballast Magic in is a waste. So what I do is I fill that with PVA and then just pour ordinary ballast in just to fill in the voids, and then I do the job over the top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to weather this bit of track, and that'll dry off quick because it's only water based. I'm going to paint areas, paint it all grey to help it blend in with the ballast that's over the top. Then I'm going to put PVA all over the top of that and pour the ballast in and brush it along. Just get my little coffee lid seal that I've been using, my bit of upcycled coffee jar. So all I'm going to do is just literally lash this on like I did before. This doesn't have to be pretty. In fact, the more rough and ready it looks, seemingly the better. All I'm doing here is just getting a cloth and just running my finger literally just along the actual top of the rail to clean the paint off. This is just emulsion paint, old tin of grey emulsion paint. I'm just going to paint roughly over all the white bits. It doesn't have to be pretty, and it doesn't have to be thin. You can just slap it on because it's going to just make everything blend in when the ballast goes over the top of it. And even if this isn't dry when I come to do the PVA, doesn't matter. All it is, it'll mix in with the PVA and it'll allow the ballast, I'll call it dry, but the ballast without the ballast adhesive, Ballast Magic in it, to stick. Right, now this bit now, I've painted that grey, and now I'm going to apply the PVA. So just apply the PVA, rough and ready. This is neat PVA, by the way. None of that runny 50-50 business. And what it does, it'll stick a coating of ballast up the shoulder of my foam track bed, so that when I do the top coat, if any falls off, you won't actually see the foam track bed underneath. I don't go down the centre of the track with this. That's the part that I leave for the ballast that's mixed with the Ballast Magic adhesive. I've had the heat on in here, and it's only been a few minutes, and the weathering I did on the track has actually dried quite nice. So as you can see, PVA all along there. This is my ballast mix, 50-50, fine and extra fine Jarvis ballast. You'll see what I do. Piece of cake this. Well, it has to be for me to be able to do it. Once this dries up a little bit, I'll be able to get the excess off easier without pulling the stuff that's stuck to the glue off. Because then if I put too much on, it doesn't matter, it'll be coming off. So that you can see, that's the base layer of ballasting. When that dries, I'll brush the excess off, and then we'll be ready to put the top layer on, and you can see it will have stuck to the chamfer on the side there. And I'll just do another section now, but I'll do that at speed. Yesterday I put a layer of neat PVA on the track, or by the sides of the track, from there that way and down this length here all the way around, to give it a base layer of ballast. Today what I'm going to do is remove all the excess and put it back into my jar. I'm ready to do a top coat of the ballast mixed with the Ballast Magic, and to get the effect of like this area here. All the excess has been hoovered off, and I think you'll agree, bar from a few little areas, there's been a decent coverage there of a base layer of ballast. And you can see there that that's a very simple and extremely cheap weathering I've done of the track with this stuff. When you compare it to what it looked like before. So that's what it looked like before, and that's what it looks like now. Okay, back again. So here we are at the next stage of putting the top layer on, and the final layer, if you like. In there I've got my mix of 50-50 fine and extra fine ballast from Jarvis, and that's mixed about 1 part Ballast Magic to about 8 parts ballast. I'll drop it into the middle first, that's what I did before, and then what I end up doing is brushing the excess off, and it falls onto the side areas. Just using a soft bristle brush, nothing too dramatic. As you can see, it's tipping over the edges. I just go back then and do the sides. And where the points are, I'm just putting that in a little bit more targeted, so I don't make cleaning up any worse than it has to be. So I don't think we need to go into this too much. You can see the idea behind it. It's just this part is very similar to anybody else's work. Hello everybody, I'm back again. That is the finished article, ballasted, wetted down. I've got to just do a second spray to finish it off, but look at that. Now, as an experiment for my first try at ballasting, I think that is okay. I like it. I've managed to get shoulders on the side of the track with the ballast, and it looks quite natural. So that means now I can apply that skill I've learned into there all the way round. So that's just been ballasted. Hi there again, just to give you a little look now of how the ballast has gone on. I've been putting it in different places and expanding it over the layout. So I'll give you a very quick run over, because I realised that this video may be getting on a bit too long. So I'll turn you around, excuse the moving of the camera. Here's where this is where I completed the earlier stuff. All around there. That looks good, and that's where I'm just putting first bits of foliage on there. But I've put, as you can see, I've expanded it over that part of there, and on the parts under the raised section. And I've done it up the riser at the back, and as you can see, I'll just turn you around, you can see it going up there. I think that looks quite good. These sections here, this is just showing you what it looks like. This is just after the first phase, if you like. This was the neat PVA and the coating of ballast to give it the base. And as you can see, I haven't put it down the middle of the tracks. That's for the second, the top coat, if you like. And that's turned out all right. It's got shoulders on it. It's turned out really well. And under there, you can see it's all turned out quite well, I think. And there's contours in it, which I like. So when I come to brush the top coat in, as I brush it, it'll just fall into the bits at the side, and then I'll spray it with the water. And I think that's come on really well. And there's no loads of liquid anywhere, it's no fuss. Alright, I do it in two phases, but that's fine by me. This is the way I've found it's easiest for me to do it, and I enjoy doing it anyway. So let's have a look at this loco. This is just one of the HO ones. That was a non-runner. And I got that going again, and that was cheap as chips. That was ages ago I got that. One of the new 66s, and I've just done this little low wall here to break up the main tracks, from these sidings, the siding area here. I think that looks okay. That's the hand engraved XPS, and I think that just even just sat there by that wall, I think that looks quite good with all the ballasting done. Got my little Lotus Lidoka on there. Used to have one of them. That's why I got it. I think you'll agree that it's turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. So I'm actually really pleased with the way the ballasting's turned out. I've never done it before, and I get better and better as it goes along, and I'm enjoying doing it. And it's started to make the layout come together, I think. So I'll speak to you soon, and take care. Bye bye.